these last 4 very quickly because this storm is... Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, then hello, my name is Kristen, and if you're not new, thank you so much for joining me for another video. It is currently pouring down rain outside. You can probably hear it if I stop talking. It is pouring, raining so hard. Summer storms in South Carolina. That's just the way that goes. So my lighting is probably a little dark because I use natural lighting when I sit here and talk about books. Today we're going to be doing my July wrap-up / August TBR. It is already like 8 days into August almost. It's 7 days in, it's the 7th. 7 days into August, but my end of July, beginning of August was extremely busy. But we're back on the posting train, and I've got like so much stuff planned for this month, and I'm gonna get it done. It's gonna happen. So we're gonna quickly run through the books that I read this month. That looked like a lot. It's not, I promise. I read 3 books this month. That's it. And the first book, the reason that stack looked so big is because I read after. I have both copies. Did I need both copies of this book? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I did. So if you don't already know, I read the After graphic novel, which is just unbelievably cute. I absolutely love this. I read this at the end of June, and then I watched the movie, and the obsession just got like worse from there. I already had this. I've had this for forever. I think I got it for like $5 at Books A Million, like when I first started reading. I was obsessed with this book. This is a very long book. I think it's, oh my gosh, the thunder. It's 580 pages. And I didn't feel like I read 580 pages. I don't feel like it took me that long to get through. If you don't know anything about After is about Tessa and Hardin, and they both go to the same university. Tessa is a very modest, clean-cut, like, doesn't do anything wrong kind of girl, and Hardin is very edgy and kind of emo-ish, and kind of hangs out with the wrong crowd. Completely opposite. They're polar opposites of humans. And Tessa has a boyfriend, and then sparks kind of fly between them. It's like their connection is just immediate between Tessa and Hardin. But Hardin is your typical bad boy in a book. He is very standoffish, but then he'll like give her something and then take it all back. Kind of bully-esque, but not really. He does say like some mean stuff though. But anyway, I adore this book. I adore Tessa. I adore Hardin. And if you like the movie, I know some people don't like the movie because the movie is like such a condensed version of this book. If you liked the movie, please read this. Please. This gives you so much more than the movie does. So if I'm obsessed. The tabs were infinite. I went through so many tabs in this book. I didn't like fully annotate it, like I didn't highlight and write in it, and I wish I had. So I think I'm gonna have to go back and reread this at some point, probably before the end of the year. So I did read all of After, all 580 pages, which is probably, it's like, this could be 3 books easily. I read this, I gave it 5 stars, I loved it, I recommend it. I definitely look up trigger warnings. There's not huge ones, but always look up trigger warnings for any book you read. So After was phenomenal. And then I tried to read Malibu Rising. Now, I know some of you are probably going to be mad at me for this, but I DNF'd this book. I just could not get into it. I could not. I read all the way up to where part 2 starts. So I read almost 200 pages of this book. I gave it a good chance. And I just didn't like it. I could not get into it. I just felt like there was nothing happening. I didn't care about the characters. Like, something major happens. And I didn't care. I was literally like, okay, whatever. I don't know how to, I don't know. I just didn't. And I know, like, it's really hit or miss. Like, you either love this book or you hate this book. And it definitely didn't put a bad taste for Taylor Jenkins Reid in my mouth. I definitely have more Taylor Jenkins Reids that I am going to read. And a lot of people say that this is their least favorite Taylor Jenkins Reid book that they've read. So, therefore, I'm going to continue reading Taylor Jenkins Reid's books. I have one on my TBR. But Malibu Rising was just not a good fit for me. Therefore, I DNF'd this, but I did read half of this book. So then our power just went out, so that's real cool. Oh, it's back on. Okay, I'm back. Sorry if frame changed or anything. We lost power, therefore I had to go deal with that. Next book that I read was Window Shopping, which is a Christmas book, but Christmas in July. Hallmark does it, why can't I? So I picked this up. It is by Tessa Bailey. Of course, we love Tessa Bailey. I loved It Happened One Summer. That is actually the only Tessa Bailey book that I've read. Yeah. But I loved it so much. Also, I just caught my highlighter, so we're going to talk about it. I am no makeup guru. That's not my thing. But I do love makeup. I'm not great at it. Whoa. I hope y'all could see that like flash of lightning flash across my face. That was insane. But oh my god, I hate thunderstorms. I did use my new Ofra X Allie Dawson palette today. This is my friend Allie's collab with Ofra. It is a stunning little palette, and it came with the All of the Lights highlighter. This is my first Ofra purchase. This is the Ofra All of the Lights highlighter, and then we have, which Allie picked to go with her eyeshadow palette that she designed herself. She got to pick all the colors, which is absolutely beautiful. This little bundle is available on Ofra's website. For $59, you can use code Allie or Paige to save you 20%, which I think brings it down to like 48 bucks for the duo. I will leave this linked down below, but I did use the Olive Lights highlighter, and y'all can see like it is gorgeous, and I used the purple shades on my eyes today. Anyway, back onto the books. I just wanted to mention Allie's palette and how proud I am of her. Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. So I'm just gonna read the back of this because it's a novella. I just feel like that's gonna be the easier way for you to know what is going on in the story. 2 weeks before Christmas, and all through Manhattan, shop windows are decorated in red and green satin. I'm standing alone in front of the famous Vivant department store, and when a charming man named Aiden asks my opinion of the decor. It's a tragedy in tinsel, I say, unable to lie. He asked for a better idea with a twinkle in his eye. Did I know he owned the place? No, he put me on the spot. Now I'm working for that man, trying to ignore that he's hot. But as a down on her luck girl with a difficult past, I know an opportunity when I see one, and I have to make it last. I'll put my heart and soul into dressing his holiday windows. I'll work without stopping, and when we lose the battle with temptation, I'll try and remember I'm just window shopping. This is Stella and Aiden. It is dual POV. It's a really quick read. It's a novella. It probably took me an hour and a half to read it. It's super cute, kind of spicy. Stella has a pretty difficult past, that she kind of has to deal with throughout the book. There's times that I wish that we had more of them connecting. Like, I could have seen this being a full-fledged novel and her having enough time to, like, there's so much more that could have happened that could have made this a full-fledged novel. I know it's supposed to be a novella, it's supposed to be a quick read, it's supposed to be fairly fast-paced, but I would have loved to have seen this in novel form. I loved Aiden, I loved Stella. They're both great characters. I think I gave it a 4.5, 4.5, somewhere around in there. It was a great book. I definitely suggest checking it out. It is very Christmassy, so if you are somebody that likes reading Christmas books during Christmas, maybe check this out this holiday season. But this was really, really cute. Definitely recommend. So then I started the next book in the After series, which is After We Collided. I can't find this. I'm gonna have to buy the regular cover. It's like purple of this book. They only had the movie cover in every freaking store I went to. I've looked everywhere. I've looked on Amazon. I've looked on Books A Million. I've looked literally everywhere for this book. And they say that they have the purple cover in stock in store, and it's just this cover. Thor, can you chill out for a minute, please? Anyway, so I'm like halfway through this book. I read like half of this book in July, and can you tell from there how many tabs? Like, you can't even, they're so stacked on top of each other that you literally can't tell. It is nearly every page. The story is like, it's absurd how obsessed with this book I am, how obsessed with this world I am. I cannot wait to finish this book. I'm so excited. Hardin is just, I love him so much. But I love how spunky Tessa is. This is, I've got to, and I haven't watched the movie for this one yet. I'm gonna finish this book. I need to finish this book. That's what I'm gonna like try to do this week. This coming week is finish this book. I'm gonna be like, Paige, listen, because we're reading these together, and I'm not allowed to read ahead of her because then I'll just finish the book and she'll be like still halfway done. So I'm gonna have to be like, look, we're gonna have to set aside some time. We've got to finish this book because I need to know what happens. I'm so excited. So I've read half of this. And then the last book I read this month was Heartstopper Volume 2. It took me a month and a half to find these books. I looked everywhere for them. If you don't know what Heartstopper is, it is a graphic novel about Charlie and Nick. They are so cute. These are freaking adorable. I have a feeling there's going to be some heavier topics toward the end of this book, but or not this book, this series. There is 4 currently. There's a 5th one coming out. There's a TV show which I need to watch now that I've I've read the 2nd book, I can watch the TV show, which I'm very excited about. Dan, shout out to you, Dan. You raved about this, and it made me want to push through. I have got to finish these books. I've got to start the series. I'm very excited. Check out Heartstopper. They're very cute YA graphic novels. I'm kind of into graphic novels right now. I'm really wanting to pick up some more. So if you have romance graphic novels that you like, I'd prefer them to be romance. If you have romance graphic novels that you like, let me know, because I'm definitely interested in checking out some more graphic novels. Also found out that there's Twilight graphic novels. What? I've never heard of those, and I'm very upset about it. So I need to find those. The Edward cover is like literally $50 everywhere I find it. So I'm gonna try to find those. Maybe I'll be able to find them. I don't know. So these are the book and a half that I read this month. It was a very busy month. I went to 2 concerts. I went to North Carolina one day for like an entire day. It was a very busy month. My birthday, Paige and Jarvis came into town. My friend Jessica came in from Missouri. It was just a very busy month for me. But I'm ready to read a bunch of books. I have a goal of at least 10 books this month, and I'm gonna meet it. We're gonna talk about the books that I want to read in August. This is probably gonna be very fast because most of these you heard about in my last TBR, which I will link down below if you want to hear some more in-depth stuff about these books. So we have Love and Gelato. The next book that I'm going to pick up after we collided is Ricochet. This is the second book in the Addicted series. I am so excited to read this. I don't know how I've waited this long to read this because Addicted to You leaves off on such a cliffhanger, and I can't wait to see what happens in this book. This is much shorter. Like, this is gonna feel so small after reading this. Like, I'm gonna probably run through this in like a day and a half. But I'm very excited to pick up Ricochet by Kristen and Becca Ritchie. Then we have Emily Henry, Book Lovers. I really enjoyed People We Meet on Vacation and and Beach Read, so I'm excited to read Book Lovers. We have Confess by Miss Colleen Hoover. I'm really excited to read this and watch the TV show, which happened like a couple years. I think it was like 2014, I have no idea when this TV show. I don't know why I'm even trying to tell you when this came out because I honestly do not know. But we have Confess by Miss Colleen Hoover. I love anything that she does, says, writes. So I'm excited to read that. We have Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney. Evidently, I saw that like this and Normal People are both becoming TV shows. I think they're going to be limited series. But I had no idea. I think it's on Hulu. I have no idea. But this is supposed to be very good. I'm excited to read my first Sally Rooney book. Then we have Every Summer After. I've heard that this is very similar to I'm sorry, y'all. I've heard that this is very similar to Love and Other Words. I loved Love and Other Words. If you didn't know, it was on my top books for like my first half of the year. So this has a lot to live up to if people are comparing it to that. But I'm excited to read Every Summer After. I gotta get some of these summer books out of the way because it's fall time. August starts fall in this house, so I gotta get through these summer books. I guess I'm gonna start fall in September. I have Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy. If you didn't know, Elle Kennedy wrote the Off Campus series, which I absolutely loved. It was one of the first series that I read when I started reading again, and I adored that entire series, minus the legacy, but we won't talk about that. But I'm excited to read something else from her that's not a hockey romance. So we have Good Girl Complex. People say this gives them OBX vibes too, which I love OBX. Then we have Daisy Jones and the Six. I honestly probably won't get to this month. This is by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm excited about it, but also I don't know. I feel like this might be something good to save for, because I want to listen to the audiobook. So I figured this might be something good to save for on the plane when I go to New York next month. So we might get into this month. We might, it might just move over to the next TBR, but we're gonna try. So we have Daisy Jones and the Six. Then we have My Policeman. I'm so excited for this movie, y'all. If you didn't know, Harry Styles is gonna be in this movie, which is why I even know that this book exists. Which, I mean, I'm sure that this book sales have skyrocketed because of it. But I'm excited to read My Policeman. And and I definitely want to. I have till like October to read it, so it's not like priority for this month, but it's definitely something that I could pick up in between like reads with Paige. And then I have Funny You Should Ask. This seems so cute. I actually read the back of this. I've been very aware of when I'm buying books here lately to figure out if it's in first person or third person, and to see if it's dual POV, like especially the first person, third person thing, because I do not like third person books. I've just come to the conclusion that unless it's a book that I'm very, 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 very interested in, I'm not going to buy it if it's third person. I just don't, it's not my cup of tea. It's hard for me to comprehend. This is it, so I made sure that this is first person. I did pick up a book the other day when Paige was here, and we both were like, oh my god, yeah, we're getting that. It sounds so good. And then we looked and it was in third person, and we were both like, no, not happening. So I'm excited to read Funny You Could Ask. This is just the cutest cover ever. But speaking of third person, I am going to read this third person book because Tessa Bailey writes beautiful third person that is really easy to follow, and I'm very excited for Hook, Line, and Sinker and Mr. Fox over here. People say that this is better than It Happened One Summer, and that's a lot. That's saying a lot because I loved It Happened One Summer, but I'm very, very excited to read this. So those are all the books that are rolling over. That just like my entire TBR from last month is just over here now. But I do have new ones to add. This is just the biggest TBR you're ever going to see on this channel. But we do have more. Because, you know, I'm going to finish After We Collided. Why not put After We Fell on here? This book is massive. Massive. It's like nearly 830 some odd pages. One good thing about Anna Todd's books, though, or at least the After series, is the chapters are very short, which in my opinion makes reading so fast. So this is like one of the top 5 priorities. After We Fell, I've got to finish this series because the new movie comes out next month, and I have to finish it so I can go see it in theaters, because they're doing like a limited run. Anyway, off topic. I'm getting off topic. I've got to be better about staying on topic in these videos because I just ramble. ADHD. And then we have Archer's Voice. I'm very excited about this. I recently flipped through this and figured out that it's dual POV, and I wasn't expecting that, I don't think, because from what I understood is that this guy doesn't talk. I'm going to read the back of it for you. I wanted to lose myself in the small town of Pelion, Maine. To forget everything I had left behind, the sound of the rain, the blood, the coldness of a gun against my skin. Whoa, that's intense. For 6 months, each breath has been a reminder that I survived. And my dad didn't. Wow, this is going to be heavy. I'm almost safe again, but the moment I meet Archer Hale, my entire world tilts on its axis and never rights itself again. Until I trespass into his strange, silent, and isolated world, Archer communicates with no one, yet in his whiskey-colored eyes, something intangible happens between us. There's so much more to him than just his beauty, his presence, or the way his hands communicate with me, on me. But this town is mirrored with secrets and betrayals, and Arthur is the explosive center of it all. So much passion and so much hurt, but it's in Archer's silence that we might just find what we need to heal and to live. Holy crap. That sounds incredible. It sounds like it's going to break my heart and I'm going to cry a lot, but it sounds incredible. So I was very surprised to find out that you do get Archer chapters. So that's going to be interesting. I think we're going to do this for my book club this month, possibly, which I'm very excited about. I'm glad that we decided on that. And now I'm very, very excited about reading that. That's going to go toward the top of the list. We have The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I love me some Christina Lauren. I've only read one of their books, but I love me some Christina Lauren. I know that this is about something happens and like the wedding, I could be let me read the back of this. Okay, yeah. So they're at a wedding and like the entire wedding party, everyone gets food poisoning. So then like the bride's sister and the best man end up having to go on the honeymoon by themselves, I guess. So this just says Olive doesn't mind playing pretend. In fact, the more she pretends to be the luckiest woman alive, the more it feels like she might be. This sounds so cute. Such a like fun summer read, I bet. So I'm really excited. I don't know if this is dual POV or not. Let's see if we can figure it out. It doesn't look like it. So I'm guessing it's all in our main queen Olive's point of view. So I'm very excited about that. Then we have Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher. Y'all, I'm so excited for this book. I adored, loved this book, The Fine Print. This was also on my top books of the first half of the year. I loved The Fine Print, which is kind of why I've been putting this off, is because I don't know if it's going to live up to my expectations of The Fine Print, because I loved Rowan so much. I don't know if Declan can be better than Rowan, but we're going to try. We're going to try. We're going to hope. We're going to love the beauty that is a Lauren Asher book. I'm very excited to read this. It is stunning. This book is so pretty. I'm very excited about this. It is, I'll just read the back of this for you. Declan, I'm destined to become the next CEO of my family's media empire. The only problem, my grandfather's inheritance clause. Fulfilling his dying wish of getting married was having an heir seemed impossible until my assistant volunteered for the job. Our marriage was supposed to be perfect. Our marriage is supposed to be the perfect solution to our biggest problem. But the more we act in love for the public, the more unsure I feel about our contract. Caring about Iris was never part of the deal, especially not when breaking her heart is inevitable. Iris, my plan to marry Declan was simple in theory. Move in together, throw a wedding, have a baby. We set rules to prevent any kinds of issues, ones that were never meant to be broken. No matter how much Declan tempts me, but what happens when our fake relationship bleeds into our real one? Falling in love was never an option, at least not for me. So it's marriage of convenience, which is my favorite trope. I love me some marriage of convenience. I love it. So I'm very excited about this. We're gonna go through these last 4 very quickly because this storm is I'm over it. I hate storms. I'm very excited for Terms and Conditions. Then we have Vampire Academy. Listen, I tried to read this. I think I don't even have a bookmark to where I think I got like 2 chapters in to this book and I was very confused. But it is becoming a TV show that Julie Plec is doing, who did the Vampire Diaries and the originals, and so I'm very intrigued to watch the show, but I feel like I need like a dumbed down version of this book to be able to understand what the heck is going on. But we're gonna try. It was very early in my reading journey when I read this. We're gonna try to read Vampire Academy because I know a lot of people love it. A lot of people like it better than Twilight. We're gonna try. We'll see how far we get. We have The Flat Chair by Beth O'Leary. I've had this book forever and I haven't read it. This is Tiffany. That thunder scared the crap out of me. So we're gonna read the back of this one. It says, what if your roommate was your soulmate? Tiffy? Her name's Tiffy? Okay. Tiffy and Leon share an apartment. Tiffy and Leon have never met. After a bad breakup, Tiffy Moore needs a place to live, fast and cheap. But the apartments in her budget have her wondering if astonishingly, that word's hard for me. Astonishingly Colored mold on the walls count as art. Desperation makes her open-minded, so she answers for an ad for a flat share. Leon, a night shift worker, will take the apartment during the day, and Tiffy can have it on nights and weekends. He'll only ever be there when she's at the office. In fact, they'll never have to meet. Tiffy... I was waiting on it. I hate it. Tiffy and Leon start writing each other notes, first about which day is garbage day, then politely establishing what leftovers are up for grabs, debating the evergreen question of whether the toilet seat should stay up or down. Even though they're opposites, they soon become friends, and then maybe more. But falling in love with your roommate is probably a terrible idea, especially if you've never met. I'm interested into when the heck they're going to meet in this book. Is it going to be a super slow burn where they meet like at the last 50 pages? I'm really curious as to how long the whole just notes and not meeting each other is going to last. It's giving like Dear John vibes, but with a twist. So I'm excited to read that. And then we have The Roughest Draft. I know nothing about this book. I'm going to continue to know nothing about this book, so I'm not even going to read the back of it. But it sounds like it's going to be about writers. I love writers in books and people that are bookish in books. So we're not going to read the back of this, but Paige made me buy this. So therefore, here it is. It's on my TBR. If you haven't noticed, me and Paige basically have identical TBRs plus a few books. Then we have Desperate Measures by Katie Robert. Katie Robert is the author of Neon Gods. I loved Neon Gods. I have not read the second book. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I've listened to Neon Gods on audiobook, so maybe I need to just try to pick up the audiobook for that. But we're going to read Desperate Measures. This is just a little novella. It says, my savior or my ruin. One night and my entire life went up in flames. And all because of him, Jafar. Oh yeah, this is the Disney series. Oh, yay. As my world burned down around me, he offered me a choice. Walk away with nothing but my freedom, or rise to his challenge and win my fortune back. I bargained, I lost. Now Jafar owns me, and even as my mind rails against his rules, my body loves the punishment. He deals out when I break them, but a guided cage is still a prison. A gilded cage. But a gilded cage is still a prison, and I'll do anything to obtain my freedom, even betray the man I'm falling for. That sounds fun. Katie usually writes some pretty dark romance, and some pretty spicy romance. So I'm excited to read this little novella. I forgot it was Disney. That is all the books that I want to read. I'm not going to be able to pick this up. We're going to try. We're going to believe. We're going to try. Oh my God. I knew it wasn't going to work. Stack of books is like as tall as my youngest child. I'm totally kidding. He's definitely taller than this. But this is on the ground and you can see the top of it. I think I'm too ambitious for my own good. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. Okay. We're not going to do this. That was all the books that I want to read. Also, a wrap up. They're all on the floor. I've tried to pick them up 4 times now. And it's not going to happen. But that was a very long list of a lot of books that I'm not going to read this month. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you are subscribed. Click the subscribe button down below. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers, which is just crazy pants. I'm restacking this book because I dropped them for the 10th time. Make sure to follow me on Instagram. I love Instagram. I love posting on stories and talking to you guys on there. And follow me on Goodreads. Friend me on Goodreads so we can keep up with, I can keep up with what you're reading. You can keep up with what I'm currently reading. It is a lot of fun over there on Goodreads. And that has every book that I have. listed. Either if it's not in my read, it's in my to be read. If I physically have it, it is in my to be read or my read if I've already read it. And then all the books that I want to buy, if you want to browse the books that I'm interested in buying, my Amazon wishlist is also down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.